Hey ho boys and girls, and what's up crypto universe? On today's daily news for Rock the Block Live. First up, you might have heard that Bitcoin Cash is going to fork. And as always, when there is a forking incident, it's always exciting for everyone else watching the drama unfolds, especially when one involves Wright. See, every year this time Bitcoin has its fair share of drama, and just as we celebrate Bitcoin's, or rather Satoshi's 10-year anniversary for his white paper, we have to look at another round of forking with Bitcoin Cash. Now what's really interesting about this round of drama is that Bitcoin Cash, Satoshi's vision, oh my god that's such a mouthful, BCHSV, is going up against Bitcoin Cash ABC, BCH ABC. And what Craig and his team is intending to do with BCH ABC, the rival faction, is that come November 15, they want to do a disrupted denial of service type attack on BCH ABC, a 51% attack on Bitcoin Cash ABC, to show how weak that Bitcoin Cash ABC really is compared to his version, Bitcoin Cash Satoshi's vision. Now, if fans of this channel, you will know that, hey, at Rock the Block Live, we are huge fan of Satoshi's vision. Unfortunately, we are not big fans of Satoshi Nakamoto wannabe. Craig Wright has said that he was Satoshi Nakamoto, but couldn't prove that he really is. But with this sort of behavior, we highly doubt that the original Satoshi would cannibalize or disrupt its own ecosystem just to prove a point about one man's ego over another. This is totally non-decentralized and very unlike Satoshi Nakamoto's principle of decentralized system. Now that aside, will this play out as to what Craig Wright has said? Well, the last few times Craig Wright has thrown out threats and tried to intimidate people in the system, it was all empty talk. So I do believe that this might be just one of his bullshit again. But who's to know, because Craig Wright has said that he has something called Satoshi's shotgun. And how it works is it will send out millions of microtransactions to the BCH ABC network and crippling it to a grinding halt. I wonder what Roger Ver and Jihan Wu Jihan has to say about that. I'm sure they have some defenses up their sleeves. What is really worrying about this, if Craig Wright is right and he really indeed has Satoshi's shotgun, it wouldn't just be Bitcoin Cash ABC that is in trouble. It will be pretty much every other proof of work network out there that will potentially suffer the same fate. Litecoin, Zcash, Dash, and God forbid, Bitcoin. So while originally in our past review where we talk about Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin Gold, and all the other permutations of Bitcoin, where we thought that, hey, Bitcoin Cash, upon further research, was actually Satoshi Nakamoto's original vision of Bitcoin, and that the current Bitcoin that we have now in the industry is actually an offshoot version of that vision. So with all this Bitcoin Cash drama, the forking and infighting, even if this was the original Satoshi Nakamoto's vision and dream, it is probably going to kill itself apart, leaving Bitcoin, the Bitcoin that we have now, to rule dominance on the whole Bitcoin branding. So Craig Wright, if you're watching this video and if you're really doing this for Satoshi Nakamoto, you might want to change your game plan and tactic while dealing with the rest of the crypto universe. Also, when we talk about Satoshi's shotgun, it reminds me very much of that gun from Doom. If you guys are from that era, you might remember this weapon called the BFG 9000.
See this? This is my boomstick!
Second headline news. Observant Reddit folks have highlighted that cross-chain platform Icon circulating supply has increased from 400 million to 443 million to now 473 million tokens. That's an 18% increase, and pundits are wondering if this is due to airdrops, token swap, or just someone at the Icon Foundation looking to get him or herself another Lambo. But the truth is, additional ICX tokens were given out to pay as payments for community leaders, internal teams, and suppliers to keep the operations running. So instead of paying fiat for these guys to pay the bills, they end up giving them more tokens so that these guys can then liquidate and take the fiat out to pay bills. But when you give out more tokens to the pool, what do you think will happen to the price? However, according to the founder, Min Kim, he says that more people wanting Icon can only be a good thing. So with that in mind, more supply with even greater demand, that might just keep the price of Icon stable, or we might even see a slight increase. So with Icon, it's kind of like you got this really beautiful car, it's gone through multiple engine enhancements, a new sleek bodywork, and every guy out there wants to take it for a spin. But over time, these additional enhancements are going to weigh you down, cost you more fuel consumption, maintenance, and insurance coverage. The next piece of news is really interesting in giving you guys an idea on how cryptocurrency transaction is so much better than traditional fiat bank-to-bank transaction. Last week, someone made a transfer of 1.159 million Litecoin tokens worth at a current market value of $62 million. And guess how much he or she paid for transaction fees? 50 cents. Well, no one really knows who owns that wallet, and by far it is the richest Litecoin wallet that we know today. Besides the huge amount of Litecoin in that wallet, what it shouldn't deter us from seeing is really the power of cryptocurrency, in this case Litecoin, where you could transfer any amount of money and pay for transaction fee for as low as 50 cents. Now banks beat that. Now regarding the wallet, people are not really interested in 50 cents transaction fee, they were more interested in who owns that wallet. Now I don't want to really speculate here, but well, if I had to guess, I'm going to think it's Charlie Lee. But Charlie Lee has came out last December to say that, hey, he has sold off all his token, conveniently at the all-time high for Litecoin. But of course, we don't know who the owner of the wallet is, and that really is the principles of the blockchain. But what is interesting is when someone starts to move about that amount of tokens, it is really something like watching the troops gather at the borders and no news is out there in the market. No one is saying anything, but you know something's about to go down. Well, we talk about how awesome cryptocurrency is. Next, we're going to prove to you why centralized control with authority at the top isn't really a good thing for people or the countries. Under pressure from US, Belgium-based Swift Corporation has banned Swift services from Iran's banks. This means Iranians are now unable to send or receive money through international bank transfer. Now, this is a real bummer. This basically shuts down businesses, this allowing them to work with anybody else outside of Iran. Now, we talked about this before in our previous videos that Iranians are actually experimenting and trying to explore ways to unpack from US dollar and to depend on their own Iranian cryptocurrency. Now, this is definitely a right move for Iran. Well, instead of being a victim of such sanctions, they can now use cryptocurrency to still transact with the rest of the world and do business. What really irks us here is to see a neutral entity like Swift Foundation bowing down to the forces of Uncle Sam, who is claiming that the Iranian banks are financing sanctioned entities like Hezbollah and Hamas. Whether they have evidence of that or not, we are not sure because it's not revealed to the public. So already the European Union, who is as shocked as we are, trying to find a way to diffuse the situation by finding alternative source or methods of payments for the Iranians. Now all it takes now is for Stella or XRP to jump on the camel, race through the desert towards Iran and offer them a solution. They may end up the hero of the day, or God forbid, end up behind firewall, blocked without food, water, or the internet. Speaking of Ripple, CEO Brett Gellinghaus was in Singapore for the Singapore FinTech Festival that is going on now from the 12th to the 16th of November. He had a chat with Deputy General of the IMF, Ross Lacoe, about payment systems and blockchain adoption in ASEAN. So together, they basically praised Singapore, Thailand, and Philippines for championing blockchain adoptions both in the public and private sector. There's probably one good reason why in ASEAN we are leading the race in championing for mass adoption for crypto. Because in ASEAN, we want it fast and we want it cheap. Ever tried sitting on a sidewalk eating a bowl of noodles with a chopstick? Super fast and super cheap. So if anyone in this world who is able to appreciate blockchain technology, you can bet it will be the Asians. Crypto hardware mining giant Bitmain has filed a lawsuit against a thief who have stolen 617 bitcoins from their Binance account. Apparently the thief stole $5.5 worth of bitcoin to spend on Mana. M-A-N-A. If you have watched some of our previous video, you know that Mana is the token used on Decentraland's virtual environment to buy land parcels. Now what we are wondering here is, will the identity of the thief be revealed to the public? Or at least, if there's a lawsuit going on, could the court actually force Binance to reveal the identity of the thief? After all, the exchange is centralized and Binance definitely have the information on who's who account it belongs to and how it was transacted, right? So there's no easy way to say this, but for Bitmain to preserve their 20 life points, they need to play the corporate instant card on Binance and make sure to play the drain power card on the anonymous thief so that the mana is all tapped out. Slightly closer to home, up in Malaysia, Malaysia's media Prima Group, which currently owns a few newspaper, magazines, websites and radio stations, has had their in-house email system hacked by ransomware demanding 1,000 bitcoins. No word on whether Media Prima Group has reported this to the police, but inside sources have told us that no way in hell is Media Prima Group going to ever pay that 1,000 ransomware, but instead have chosen to move over to Google's G Suite email services instead. So I guess for large corporation like that, the best way to go about their daily process is to say, screw you guys, we're going to reset everything, forget the old system ever exists, and just start everything fresh from the ground up. I'm not sure how that's going to affect everybody else, but I do applaud them for not paying a single cent out to these hackers. Well, that's all the news I have for you today. My name is Eugene Tay. Do not forget, Satoshi's quest is now on. If you're a crypto enthusiast, we want to challenge you to solve the puzzle. Well, if you have not been following our daily videos and our interview videos, we have released a short video clip presenting 7 clues for you guys to start with. Now, if you guys are a huge fan of Bitcoin and Satoshi, this one is going to thrill you. Right, that's all I have for you today. My name is Eugene Tay, and I'll see you guys in the next video.